Hey everybody, welcome back to Review the Nerds. I'm Vincent.
And I'm Mike, and today we're going to be discussing the new teaser trailer for Logan, the final Wolverine movie with Hugh Jackman.
Indeed. Hugh Jackman at this point has been doing the character for about 17 years, and this is going to be his final go-around with the character. And a lot of people are excited, and this movie's been talked about for a while, whether it was going to be called, was it going to be called Wolverine 3, was it going to be called, the Wolverine 2 or whatever. And, there's reports about maybe they were going to adapt the Old Man Logan storyline, and the fans were, begging for it because it's a very, very popular story, and there was getting, little hints there and there, and then finally it was pretty much confirmed based on set photos that, they were going to do Old Man Logan, and the movie is going to be called Logan, and trailer came out, and people are freaking all over the internet.
Yeah, it's not exactly Old Man Logan. There's huge deviations. Fox does not own all of the rights to all the characters from the Old Man Logan storyline.
Yeah.
That's part of the issue.
Actually, that could be a good issue, because no offense, I don't want to see Hillbilly Hulk with his inbred children. I do not want to see that. I don't want Mark Ruffalo having to go through that shit. Yeah, so we got a lot going on in this trailer. We see it's definitely some point in the future, after Days of Future Past. Wolverine, he's aged, he's old, his hair is gray, he's got scars all over his body, which indicates that he's reached a point in his life that his powers are failing him. His claws can still come out, but his healing factor, I'm guessing, is all but gone.
What exactly is going on there? Because within Xavier's lifetime, he has aged more than he has in the last, 150 years of his life.
Yeah.
So what happened? I've heard different rumors. I heard one thing that Essex found a way to dull down, his abilities. Or that I've also heard the other rumor that this is leftover consequences of what happened to him in the Wolverine movie, where Yoshida, as the Silver Samurai, tried to extract Wolverine's healing abilities.
Yeah, because he did get his healing factor restored, but I guess it could be possible there might have been some kind of long-term effect, assuming that it's still within continuity.
Yeah, because as it was, I remember even in the Days of Future Past storyline, I was like, how's Wolverine turning gray already? Even then he was aging more than I expected, so he's aging faster for some reason. They need to have a good reason for that, because his healing factor should keep him looking relatively the same age, at least during Xavier's lifetime.
Yeah. We all know that it's not that he doesn't age at all, it's just he aged extremely slowly. So it could just be to the point where maybe it's just overexhaustion from his life, from living a life where he's constantly in battles and overusing his healing factor. Maybe it has something to do with the adamantium bonding, that eventually that he didn't realize it at the time, but it was starting to slow down his healing. There could be multiple factors. In the comics, I remember one comic storyline where it turned out that adamantium had a poisonous effect on his body, and he didn't know because of his healing factor, but one time when he did lose it, it started to become apparent. There could be a bunch of possibilities. I think they're probably just going to keep it simple and just say, hey, no, he's gotten old, and now that he's getting this point in his life, his healing factor is starting to slow down.
The presentation of the trailer is very good, I would say.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, I'm liking it. I'm hoping it's one of those trailers that does properly represent the movie, because this trailer, I really enjoyed it.
It definitely tugs at your heartstrings. It was difficult to watch in some places, but it's a very emotional and grim look at the later years of Logan's life. We see him once again isolating himself from the world, but this time he has company. Apparently he's taken on the responsibility of being Xavier's caretaker.
Who seems very sickly, he's in bed, he's not moving around. He's paralyzed, but there's also something else going on here to show that his health might not be the best.
Yeah, I've heard that he has Alzheimer's. Logan needs to constantly refresh his memory on who he is and what happened to the X-Men, who are presumably dead or at least missing, which is kind of a bummer. A guy whose main mutant ability is his mind, that has to be pretty challenging.
Yeah, pretty tragic, too. There's no sign of the other X-Men, like Mike said. Who knows how they're going to explain that.
Yeah, they
could be taken right out of the Old Man Logan book. We don't know yet.
This could be a potential spoiler. In the Old Man Logan storyline, Wolverine sees an attack on the X-Mansion, and he defends it, not knowing that he's actually having a hallucination forced upon him, and the reality is he's actually murdered the entire X-Men team. That is something that worked in that comic book because it was a really what-if storyline. It wasn't necessarily connected to the continuity of the regular X-Men comics. You're able to look at it and go, oh yeah, what if that happened? In the movie franchise, that would be way too much, especially considering that we just saw Wolverine recover from killing Jean Grey and getting the reward of having her life restored. Having him once again be responsible for the deaths of people he cares about, that's too much. Now, maybe responsible in that he felt, he could have done more to help them or something, but not him directly killing them. We've been down that road, and that's too heavy for a movie franchise. And the things I'm worried about, because the opening of the trailer, the first line of it is, "What did you do?" And he says it in such a way that implies to me that they're hinting that could be where they're going. I really hope not, though.
This movie is interesting because it is the Wolverine story that people have been begging for, but at the same time, it brings complications because of the way they've set up the movie universe.
All hope seems to be lost until a little girl enters their lives and needs their protection.
Which we know is going to be X-23, which, for those of you who don't know, she's basically Logan's clone daughter. She has basically all his abilities except for, if I'm remembering correctly, she didn't get a full adamantium upgrade. It's just her claws have adamantium. The two in her hands and the one each in her feet. But they didn't do the full skeletal.
Yeah, she's the result of the Wolverine blood sample that the Essex guys took from the Stryker facility. It was in the post-credits scene from X-Men Apocalypse, which is their only justification for cramming Wolverine into that movie. Now, he must protect her from Essex agents who are hunting her down on behalf of Mr. Sinister, who is the mastermind of all the turmoil and hardships in this movie. I think, exploring the relationship of Wolverine being a caretaker to an aging Xavier is interesting, and then Wolverine taking on a daughter-like figure, especially for a guy who's lost all hope, and suddenly there's, this innocent that he has to protect. You see X-23 in Logan, and he has a shovel clearly in his hand, looking down at something with sad looks on their faces.
Yeah.
I'm getting the impression that he's burying Xavier.
Yeah.
The trailer is hard-hitting, and it's relentless in its dark tone, and it just gave me the chills. Seeing Xavier in that bed was haunting, and it's all just pretty depressing. Obviously, it's exploring themes of mortality, reaching the end of your life, and wanting it all to have meant something. The loneliness about living people that you care about, and legacy, all those things. I feel like the trailer plays very much like it's an Oscar-caliber type film. It just definitely has a class to it that is unusual for superhero films. It looks like the most serious superhero film they've ever made yet.
Amongst all the action and sorrow that was going to be, there might be some tender moments in this film between Logan and Professor X and Logan and X-23. They're definitely going for, I think they're going to go for a lot of character depth in this one. Because, it is a tragic story that they're going to be presenting to us here. Possibly the obvious choice, but sometimes the obvious choice is best. They have, Johnny Cash's cover of the song Hurt playing throughout this trailer. It's just such a beautiful song on its own, and also very appropriate for the last Wolverine movie, especially the storyline that they're adapting. And it just really adds to that trailer. The way they have it edited in the scenes, and it's building up, and it's just like, really gets you in the heart a little bit, especially, for us, because like I said, earlier, Hugh Jackman's been doing this character for 17 years. A lot of us have grown up on this character. This character means a ton to us.
It looks like Patrick Stewart is going to be amazing. You only get little bits of him, but I feel like this might be one of the best performances he's had in movies almost ever. And Hugh Jackman, I think, is going to get a lot to do here, too. And this looks like they're taking it, though, to a whole new level. On top of what we've already seen. Also, this is the first rated R Wolverine movie, so they're able to take things into edgier material than they could in the others.
They wanted to make the last Wolverine rated R, but they wouldn't allow it. But now, because of the sex...
they even released the unrated version.
Yeah, but now, because of the success of Deadpool, they were given the go-ahead. So in the trailer, of course, we see Wolverine doing this thing, busting out those adamantium claws and going to town on people, He's not backing down. People are coming at him. People are coming at Xavier. They're getting chased in a car. He's doing what he does. And in the Red Band trailer, real cool scene. He's going down like a hallway at maybe a hotel or something. I don't know, some kind of hallway. Coming up. Boom! Uppercut with the claws right through this guy's fucking skull. That is Wolverine right there. Just taking it. Cool. Even when he's old and fucking tired, and he's still taking it to the motherfuckers.
Yeah, that was a cool moment. I like that a lot. Maybe for a future trailer, we'll see more of the action scenes. Yeah. Don't go CGI samurai.
Fest. Big silver robot.
Yeah, don't go that far with it. But I mean, yeah, of course, you want to see some innovative action sequences with Wolverine, especially since it's his last outing. Also feels like a Western in a lot of ways. Outnumbered guy taking on this huge force of people that are coming to collect this girl and everything, and he's making a stand, kind of.
Yeah, he's like the last cowboy of this world.
I mean, the finale to me should end the way a Western would, like
going out like Scarface.
Yeah, I mean, whether he lives or dies, we'll see, but the finale needs to be pretty big for this.
Logan's gonna die, Xavier's gonna die.
Well, we don't know if Logan's gonna die. He didn't die in Old Man Logan. He didn't die in a comic book. So that doesn't mean he's gonna die. This is the spiritual end of his journey, but it's not necessarily the end of his life. And also the cinematography looks pretty cool. I really like the composition of all the shots and everything. Like, it definitely gives you that sense of loneliness. Honestly, the trailer excites me as I'm watching it. Like, I can feel my heart pounding as it's going through its beats. I'm on the edge of my seat watching it. I have to admit, it really did suck me in and engage me. As a standalone, as like a movie that is separate from the X-Men franchise, I think it looks incredible. But because it is connected to the franchise, and it has to carry the weight of everything that has come previously, I am feeling slight fatigue with certain elements. I feel like this movie kind of minimizes what they accomplished in Days of Future Past. The retconning the future, that Wolverine came from, where the mutant kind was being hunted to extinction and the X-Men were almost all dead. Replacing that timeline and then rewarding Wolverine for all of his sacrifices and hardships at the end, where he's walking into a mansion where all of his friends are alive again and it's a better future. To then just have this future happen where everything goes right back to them being hunted and extinct and his friends are dead again, it makes that feel empty, that struggle. And this is something that we've gone through a few times in this series now. Though this looks great, it also looks like it's going to be frustrating because it is repetitive, going over the same character arc we've already seen. Wolverine's gone through this broken routine before.
He's probably more isolated than you've ever seen Wolverine.
This is a character that is so sick of living and so sick of his healing power.
He has lost purpose.
And I really liked exploring that side of the character in the past movies, but I wonder if it really works to do it yet again here. Even though it looks like they're doing it really well, judging from what we're seeing in this trailer. But aside from that, more so than any other franchise I've personally sat through, this is the most confusing clusterfuck of continuity I've ever experienced. And, Deadpool himself mentioned this.
These timelines are so confusing.
Why couldn't they have Kevin Feige on board with this universe to just make everything flow together? Because it's so hard to really get invested when you keep erasing the meaning of different movies. Like Days of Future Past, great movie, and actually would have made a great final film to the franchise because I felt like it resolved a lot of things. But in a way, it did also take away, what they struggled for in the first three films. And then this movie takes away the struggle in that. So it's just like, I would like to feel like I have solid footing in this franchise, where I'm like, okay, I can see this continuity, evolutionary growth of these characters. I'm following them through hardships, and they're growing from them. But the series keeps going back and backtracking and erasing.
Yeah, I mean, we've discussed this before with all the issues going on in the franchise. I mean, because of the retconning and the continuity errors and having different directors and different producers and the writers and whatnot, it's caused a lot of issues, and, a lot of X-Men fans have voiced their issues with it, and we're just the same. The thing for me is that I've accepted that there's no, even with Days of Future Past trying to reset the timeline, there's no way around these continuity errors. They're there, they're happening. I just come to accept that these are going to be problems, and I accept it because I want to enjoy these movies. I can't tell Mike he's wrong here. He's bringing up valid points there. I just, like I said, I have similar concerns.
What about the idea that Mr. Sinister is collecting mutants and holding them for experimentation, and that they're actually in his facility, and maybe at the end of the movie there'll be a cameo, appearance by some of the X-Men where...
I can accept that more, especially in the comics, because Mr. Sinister is obsessed with Jean because of her level of psychic ability. I'm more accepting of that they're captured, and maybe even Logan thinks they're dead. I mean, we do see in the trailer that somebody died, because we see Logan in a cemetery, downing a bottle of Jack Daniels or something, and there's a funeral going off in it. So somebody dies. Somebody important to him dies.
Yeah.
Them just splitting up and hiding and staying away from each other and never trying to contact each other and get back together. Especially for Scott and Jean. I can never see those two abandoning Professor X like that. But yeah,
if they're being held, though.
Yeah, if they're being held.
We know that they're not going to fix what's going on in this movie with time travel. They've already done the time travel thing. So they have to find a way to satisfyingly end his story, and I feel like it won't be satisfying unless you give him some kind of reward for his struggles. And also, reward the fans for following this franchise all this time. I don't want to end the franchise if this is the ending. Well, it is the ending of the continuity, at least. I don't think we're ever going to have another movie this far in the future. I don't want to end the franchise, all their struggles were for nothing because they all were killed and the mansion was destroyed and it's all, Xavier's dream in shambles. I mean, I don't want to end it like that. I mean, you've got to give me hope at the end.
I expect at the end of the movie, for X-23, for her to be the hope of the mutants. That's what I'm expecting to happen. That she'd be the one to carry on the legacy of the X-Men.
Well, that's obviously what they're going for, but I feel like that by itself isn't enough. Even though I've been voicing some criticisms, I'm still totally on board. I mean, this is Hugh Jackman's final run as Wolverine. So, as a hardcore fan, I'm there. And honestly, this is one of the best trailers I've seen all year. It definitely gets the emotions flowing, and they did a good job with it. And I'm pumped to see the movie. I just want to see it done right, I think everybody does. And hopefully they do it justice.
Old Man Logan, the movie that the fan base has been begging for, we got it, but does it really fit with the franchise as it is? I don't know. Either way, I'm going to enjoy this movie for what it is. I'm just going to, if it brings more continuity, I'm just going to pretend it's set in a separate fucking universe. I'm going to say it right now. I'm going to pretend it's set in another universe where this crap makes sense, because I want to enjoy this movie. I want to enjoy Hugh Jackman's last run as Logan.
I love Hugh Jackman. I love this character. And I love X-Men. I'm hoping this movie is going to deliver the goods, including the drama, the stakes, but also allow us some closure.
We're 90s kids, man. We grew up on that X-Men 90s cartoon, so it's hard for us not to give a damn about this character. Even back then, everybody loved Wolverine. You always loved that bad boy in each group.
Yeah. And totally when Hugh Jackman breathed life into the character on the silver screen for the first time, I just remember immediately being I love this guy. Yeah. He was great.
He blew everybody away. Well, anyway, everybody, that's what we got for you this time. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let us know what you're thinking down in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. And if you really enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel. But until next time, I'm Vincent.
And I'm Mike.
And this has been
Review of the Nerds.
Snick, catch you next time.